My name is Dana Gain, and today we're talking to home buyers facing a potential bidding war. So let's walk through the 6 mistakes that you can avoid when facing multiple offers. Mistake number 1, bidding too low. Now, it goes without saying, and it's pretty obvious, that if you don't offer enough, you won't get the house. Most sellers have an ideal price in mind when they sell their home, and if you don't meet or exceed that number, of course, you'll be out of the race. But what some buyers don't realize is that the ideal sale number for a seller is often pretty close to market value. In other words, you don't have to guess. The home sellers will have reviewed the pricing research provided by their realtor for similar homes that have sold in the neighborhood. As a result, sellers usually understand very well what their home is worth, and they have the data to back it up. An offer price, though, that falls below this number is the single most common reason buyers lose in competition. To help prepare you, your realtor will provide the sold prices of comparable homes in the same neighborhood as the house you plan to buy. These sold prices will reveal a lot about market value and, in fact, will become critical information in helping you decide what your offer price should be. Buyers will sometimes try to save a few dollars, of course. Some are convinced they could buy the house for less than what is being suggested to them. Others simply push against the concept of paying over list price. However, the key to your success in a bidding war is this: best offer first. Bring your very best bid right out of the gate, because chances are good that you may not have an opportunity to improve it. Sellers will often select the most attractive firm offer on the table, and then it's all over. Mistake number 2, making the minimum deposit. You can get everything else right, but if your deposit amount is not persuasive to the seller, you could still lose the house. A deposit is meant to indicate a buyer's level of seriousness about a property. To a seller, a large deposit tells the story of a fully committed buyer. As long as both parties live up to the terms of the agreement, the deposit is not refundable. Thus, a good deal of reassurance is afforded the seller that they will indeed make it all the way to closing day. How much is the right amount for a deposit? It depends. It can vary by location and overall pace of the market, but a good rule of thumb is that the deposit should be no less than 5% of the proposed sale price. In the current seller's market, bringing this number closer to 10% will help to strongly communicate that you are committed to buying that house. Mistake number 3, including conditions in the offer. To a seller, a condition is little more than a roadblock. Conditions will stand in their way of the deal being well and truly done, and as a result, sellers generally don't appreciate them. In a more balanced market, sellers do expect to see conditions in an offer, most frequently the financing and the home inspection conditions. These conditions typically will protect a buyer, not always, ensuring that both the mortgage funds and the structure and mechanics of the house have been verified before the offer is considered firm. In the current market, however, with nearly all freestanding homes being sold in bidding wars, conditions are less commonly seen during offer preparation and submission. Buyers understand they're taking a risk by not including conditions to allow for the proper due diligence, but they also realize that including a condition is a quick way of getting ruled out in multiple offers. What will your realtor tell you? Realtors will recommend that you include conditions to protect yourself, seller's market or not. At the same time, you will need to weigh the risks of including conditions against your chances of success in a bidding war. In the end, it is a highly personal decision, and everyone's tolerance for risk is different. If you're more comfortable including conditions in your offer, but you know you're facing competition for the home, consider improving your chances by reducing the time required to complete your due diligence. Always speak with your realtor about the pros and cons of including conditions before making your offer. Mistake number 4, making the offer too early. Some sellers will review offers before offer day. Others will not. If you're dealing with the latter scenario, exercise caution. If a seller doesn't plan to accept preemptive bids, presenting an early offer anyway in the hopes of avoiding competition, this could work against you. Sending an early bid to a seller just reveals your intentions about how much you're prepared to offer on the home. Worse, it could trigger a protocol requiring the listing agent to alert all other buying agents of an incoming offer, creating competition precisely when you were trying to avoid one. While it's certainly not always a bad idea to submit a preemptive offer, in fact, there will be situations where it makes more sense, you will want to seek guidance from your realtor in advance to ensure it's likely to be given due consideration in your specific situation. Mistake number 5, making the offer too late. MLS listings will usually indicate whether a seller has opted to hold offers on a specific date in the future. This is important for 2 reasons. First, if you're viewing the home for the first time on the same day as the offers are being held, you are working to a very tight timeline. Second, the listing document will show the specific time of day deadline to receive offers. This is to help keep a level playing field amongst buyers and also to set expectations about when a seller will review the incoming bids. If you see the home for the first time on offer day, consider planning your time carefully. In fairness to the other participating buyers, sellers may not consider offers that arrive after that precise deadline. This could rule you out before you've even begun. To avoid this scenario, speak to your realtor in advance about expected offer dates on any showings. This will allow you to add a day or more as a buffer between viewing a property and meeting an offer deadline. Mistake number 6, not playing ball. It's offer day, you've submitted a strong offer and a great deposit, and all that's left to do, right, is wait for the verdict. But then something unexpected happens. You are sent back to improve your offer. When 2 or more bids are very similar, a seller will sometimes send selected buyers back to the table to break a tie, simultaneously increasing their final selling price. The seller will ask the buyers to come back to the table with an improved offer, sometimes even recommending specific changes that need to be made. Buyers, however, will sometimes interpret this negatively and dig in their heels. Their pride simply will not allow them to make changes to their offer, and that's okay. However, if a seller comes back to a buyer with a verbal counteroffer or a verbal proposal, it should be interpreted as an invitation to participate, nothing more. Opting not to continue will certainly end the negotiation for the buyer, and the house will go to someone else. Emotions will run high during a negotiation like this. If you've already gone into a bidding war with your very best, well thought through, strongest offer, it's going to be a little challenging to accept what the seller is suggesting to you, and that is that your offer is not good enough. But the truth is, being sent back is a very good sign. It means you're in a tie amongst the best offers out there, and you now have a chance to push through to the finish line. In the end, it will be about asking yourself how much you want the house and if you can live with the additional terms being requested.